Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, thank you so much for tuning back in. And if you are new, and if you are one of the few that have subscribed over the past few days, welcome. My name is Rani. Thank you for joining. Today's video is going to be another cash envelope stuffing for this week's paycheck. So I have the money off to the side and let's go ahead and count it. It should be a total of $366. So we have 120, 40, 60, 80, 200, 250, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300, 310, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66. So it looks like we do have the correct amount of $366. This time I didn't have anything go wrong at the bank, so I was happy about that. I'm gonna go ahead and just organize these and set them up. And finally, the only one. And then off to the side, I have my cash envelopes, which are these ones, and then my sinking funds. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with the cash envelopes and then move on to my sinking funds. And then I do also have another envelope with some change that I've gotten over this week, or this past week rather, when spending out of my envelope. So I'm just gonna put this off to the side and then we'll deal with this later towards the end of the video. And then I'll move this off to the side as well. So whatever order I have my cash envelopes in is the order I'm going to stuff them. This time I don't have a cheat sheet, so I'm going to go ahead and just see how this goes. Hopefully there's no mistakes. But before I do start stuffing, I want to take out the money from these envelopes. Only the ones that do require me to take out, that have leftover, for example, the ones that I use on a daily basis. So bills is excluded from that. Gas has nothing in it. Miscellaneous has nothing in it. Groceries has $60, so we're taking those out. And then phone doesn't take, we don't take nothing out from there. And then spending, we don't take nothing out from there. So it was just $60 this week. Anything is something, I'm putting those off to the side, and then I'll deal with those later as well. So finally the stuffing part. So bills gets 100, and that makes the total in this envelope 150. And the goal for this envelope is 400 each month. So there's that. And then we have gas. This one gets 210 this time. So that's 20. And that should probably be enough for this week. But maybe next week you might see me adjust this amount, just because I find that even though I'm not doing a lot of driving during the week, I mean, this past week I did do a lot of driving, and this week I did do a lot of driving, but I'm finding that it's not enough. So I will just see and adjust accordingly. Next up is miscellaneous, and this one gets 20. This one usually gets spent every week, so there's 20. And then we have groceries, and this one gets a 50. And once again, I did not end up going to Trader Joe's, and it sucks, but I did have intentions of going. When I got there, there was a big line waiting outside, waiting to get in. I just chose to not go. I made the decision to not go just because it wasn't worth it waiting out in the line, and it was nice out, but not worth it. I'll try again this weekend, maybe next, who knows, someday I'll go. Phone is getting $20 this week, and my payment did go down, so the new amount that I'm paying monthly is 80. So this was adjusted, so now it has, let's see, 20, 40, 50. It has 50, and this one is due on the 17th. Next and last up is spending, and this one gets the usual 25, 20, and a 5. And I'm gonna go ahead and count this. And we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So for my first video of March, my first video doing my cash stuffing, again, I mentioned that my birthday was coming up and that I wanted to get myself something, so I was trying not to spend out of here. And I finally decided what I wanted. I'm still a ways away, so we're just gonna continue. I'm not gonna get nothing for my birthday this year for myself, just because I do want that item badly and I want to save up for it. So those are the envelopes for this week. They're all stuffed. I'm putting these off to the side here and moving on to my sinking funds. And last time it worked out to take them all out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Put this off to the side, and we're gonna start with emergency. So let's take this out first. And it is going to get its usual 25. Ooh, 25. And let's organize this. There we go. And we should count it. No, I'm gonna wait till the end to count this envelope, and you'll see why. But for now, we're just gonna put this back in here. I always have issues putting this money back into these envelopes. Let's see, let's try again. There we go. There we go. So that's the emergency fund. Next up, we have debt. This one gets $15. So I'll take this out. 10 and a 5. Oh, makes that 15. These nails, they make everything so much harder. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. $60. That's good. Oh, see, I'm a mess, clearly, as I am every time. So we have $60 in here. That's awesome. The next sinking fund is savings, and this one is getting $10. 10 little dollars. And I'm not going to count this, or I'm not taking the money out, but this should make it 40. Yes, this should make it $40. Up next is gifts, and I did take out the $50 that I had said in my previous video. I already purchased that present. Oh, I never closed it when I took out the money. And so now we're back to having $30 in here, and with these other $10, it's $40. So that gift worked out. And the next one is medical, which also gets $10. Let's fix this. So $10 makes that 40 as well. And this corner is irritating me. There we go. 40. And then insurance, this one gets 31. So a 20, a 10, and let's move these off to the side. 31, and then I'll take out the money from here to count. So a 20, 10, and a 1. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 110, 11, 12, 13. So we have 113 in here. Frankly, my least favorite part is putting the money back in. It's always such a struggle for me. There we go. And then car maintenance gets 15. So for this one, I do need to take $20 out of it. Apparently I ran over some nails and I got a flat tire. So my sister and my mom took my car to the tire shop today while I was at work, and they got that fixed for me. So my sister paid, so I'm gonna go ahead and give her these $20. I had to get a new tire. So I'm just gonna put these off to the side, out of sight, and then just give these to her after I'm done. So in here we get 15, and I'll take up what's in here to count. So 5 and a 10, and now we're down to 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And so I did get my card tags last weekend, I believe. So that money was taken out in my previous video, and that's taken care of as well. So there's that, and then there's projects, and that one just gets $10. And I do believe there was a change in the amount I put in last week, so I'm taking this money out. This week it gets its usual 10, so we're at 10, 20, 30, 35. And so this envelope is just anything related to any personal projects I want to do, anything related to my channel. It will come out of here if I have the funds available. So that's projects. Then we have camera, which is the last actual sinking fund, and that one has 5, 10, it has 15 currently. We have the last final 5 here, and that makes it $20. So those are the sinking funds. And I have this final folder, which is labeled leftover. So in my last video, if you watched it, and if not, I'll have a link down below in the description box. I took out my week's leftover money and stuffed it in here, and I'm gonna add this week's leftover money as well. So let's go ahead and just organize this, and then we'll count it. So I have 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100, 1, 2, 3. So I have 103 left over for this month. And this is something that I'm going to do at the end of every month. I'm going to count the whole money and see what's in it. So at the end of every week, before I stuff my cash envelopes for the new week, I will take out what's remaining of that week just from my miscellaneous, my groceries, and gas, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to this leftover envelope. And I won't be counting it to the very last week, to the very last cash stuffing of that month. So whatever amount I have left in this, I chose to put it into my emergency fund. Just because if you've watched my previous videos this past month of March, you would have known that my goal is to get to $1,000 in this envelope before I start tackling debt. And I've also decided that I won't stop putting money in here. I will adjust how much I'm gonna put in here. It's not gonna be 25 anymore, but I do wanna put in at least something every month just to continue to help it grow. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and add this and count what is in total for the end of this month of March. And also, I keep referencing my previous video. It will be linked down below. In that video, I mentioned that I decided to make this week, although it ends on April 2nd, to be counted towards March. That's why I'm doing that. So for the month of March, we ended with, let's see. Let me organize this first before I do anything else. Okay. This should be good. Perfect. So let's go ahead and count and see what we ended March with in this sinking fund. So we have 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400? Is that 400? Oh my gosh, it has to happen at least once. Okay, let's make this easier for me. 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500. So I'm gonna stack these up. 500, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. So we ended my emergency sinking fund with $567. $567. That is a little over halfway to my goal for this sinking fund. That's amazing. I'm actually really happy. That's so exciting. I'm almost there, so hopefully I can finish this sinking fund by this month of April. If not, it's totally good. It's all good. That's honestly, that's really cool. So now to get this money back in here, that's the real struggle. So let's see. Ooh. Oh, I'm struggling. Let's see. I don't know if this is gonna work. Is this gonna work? Oh, okay, I think it worked. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, some of these are so bent up. Okay, I think that worked. Man, this one's thick. Okay, let's see. So let's put leftover at the very back. And I'm gonna put these back into my binder. All right, and that is that. All the envelopes are back in place. And all my sinking funds are stuffed for this week, as well as my cash envelopes. So I did mention I had an envelope with some change. So over this weekend, this past weekend, I got a jar. I went to Walgreens and got a jar. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my coins in there. So I know some of this was supposed to belong in my, what was it? My miscellaneous fund. But the cashier didn't have any more dollar bills. So she just gave me everything in quarters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add those in there. Ooh, hope that wasn't too loud. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my leftover change in here, and then once this gets full, I'm gonna transfer it over to my main and big piggy bank. I'm going to start just collecting my change. I don't typically do this, but many of the budgeting channels have inspired me to do so. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, see what I can get for the end of the year. And that's that. That is the last part to this stuffing. My envelopes and sinking funds are stuffed for this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow me on my journey to debt freedom, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.